What's up guys, my name is Ace, and today we got the Volk Retro, which is a ballistic version of the Volk, so essentially kind of like an AK47. In this video, I'll share exactly how to get this Volk Retro, and I'll also be comparing it to the base Volk, because there are a couple little differences that you might not have known about. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so hopping right into this, how do we get this Volk Retro? Well, it's actually quite straightforward. This is the Week 3 gun for the Call of Duty Days of Summer. If you go into the Quartermaster and you open the Week 3 hacks, you will eventually get the Volk Retro, guaranteed. There are 18 drops available to open. You should also get one for free if you log in right away. And within those 18 drops, the Volk Retro is guaranteed to be in one of those drops. These are dupe protected, and there are set items that are in these drops. And like I said, the Volk Retro is guaranteed to be in one of them. Now hopefully you'll get it nice and early on, but for some people it's going to take all 18 drops, or it's going to take a lot of those 18 drops to get it. But just rest assured, if you really want that Volk Retro, you can get it guaranteed as long as you open those drops for Week 3. This means you only have a week to do this as well. If you wait until Week 4, it'll be too late. Now, if you don't happen to get it for this Week 3, don't worry. The Volk Vintage, which is exactly the same as the Volk Retro, except you'll be able to put camos on it, this will eventually be coming out, and hopefully it will be craftable. There's no word on whether it'll be craftable or in a Quartermaster collection. I strongly feel it will be craftable in the future, but if you want that ballistic Volk right away, you're going to have to get it in these Week 3 hacks. So now that we know how to get the Volk Retro, let's have a deep look at this gun and compare it to the base Volk. So the Volk Retro gives you two weapon perks. It gives you the ballistic conversion kit, which just turns it from an energy weapon to a ballistic weapon, so you'll now be able to fire through cover instead of bouncing shots off of cover. Also, your attachments change up a little bit. You're able to put extended mags on there instead of fusion mag. And unlike the energy weapons, your magazine won't automatically refill with time. In addition to that one, we get Steady, which reduces our hip spread by 20%. And you can see here, I just did a quick comparison, the base Volk versus the Volk Retro. You can see that slight improvement to the hip spread. Now at first glance, it doesn't seem like much has changed. Basically, you get slightly better hip spread, and it now becomes a ballistic weapon. But there were a few other hidden stats that were in fact changed with the Volk Retro. The first of which, I don't think anybody really noticed yet, is the range. I hand tested these ranges this morning, and the Volk Retro actually loses a little bit of its 3-shot kill potential. It appears to have the exact same rate of fire and damage profile, but we get slightly less range to it. It's definitely not a significant difference, and I wouldn't worry about it too much, but I did want to point out that you do lose a little bit of range with the Volk Retro. Now I just want to let you guys know I also tested aim down sight time, movement speed, sprint out speed, reload time. All of that stuff is identical, nothing has changed there. But there's one other big thing that's changed, and I'm sure a lot of people know about this already. The recoil has changed very significantly with this gun. As you can see here, this is the base Volk, and it does bounce around quite a bit side to side. It doesn't really get too vertical though. You don't kick way up in the air. It's more so that side to side recoil, which can be quite unpredictable. But when we move into the Volk Retro, this one still has a little bit of that side to side unpredictability, but it's got crazy vertical recoil. Another thing to point out with the Volk Retro is it's got a lot of visual recoil. So this is recoil where you can see your gun bouncing around a lot, but in reality the shots are still going pretty straight. So when you look at the recoil patterns themselves, it looks like there's very little side-to-side recoil. It kicks pretty much straight up, but when you're actually firing it, it looks like it's bouncing around all over the place. And that can lead to a feeling of less accuracy, even though technically you are a little bit more accurate with the Volk Retro, or I should say more predictable with a lot higher recoil. So personally, after playing with it for a little bit, I actually don't mind this high recoil as long as you start by aiming low a little bit and you compensate by pulling down slightly on the right analog stick. It's actually quite easy to control this recoil on the Volk Retro compared to the base Volk, which bounces around side to side and is completely unpredictable. So as much as a lot of people will say that the recoil is just terrible on this Volk Retro, I find it to be not so bad in practice. This one might come a little bit down to personal preference, but just know the recoil properties have changed very significantly between the base Volk and the Volk Retro. And with that, those are the only differences I was able to find between the Volk Retro and the base Volk. It's definitely got its own unique feel, but generally it's still pretty much the same gun, just in ballistic form. And with that, I'd like to know in the comment section below, what do you guys think of the Volk Retro so far? Do you prefer it over the base Volk, or are there other Volk variants that you would much rather use? If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.